Welcome to the 2022 Global Youth Institute. My name is Barbara Stinson, and I'm the president of the World Food Prize Foundation. We are so excited to have over 250 students and nearly 100 teachers participating from 17 different countries around the world. During this week, you'll have the opportunity to present your research to international food security experts, engaging with students from around the world, and learning from anti-hunger advocates. Importantly, throughout the week, we will address the intersection of climate change and food security, two of the greatest challenges we face as a global community. Each of you are critical members of that community of leaders who will help us find the many solutions needed to improve our food systems and curb the impacts of climate change. At the World Food Prize Foundation, we work to empower young leaders like you who are dedicating themselves to improving food security around the world. Our mission at the World Food Prize Foundation is to elevate innovation and inspire action to sustainably increase the quality, quantity, and availability of food for all. Every year, we award $250,000 to an individual making breakthrough achievements in global food security. We celebrate and honor those real-life heroes who are all around us, working every day to end hunger and poverty and improve the nutrition, health, and quality of life for all people on our planet. As part of our week-long conference, you'll have the incredible opportunity to engage with many of those real-life heroes, including our 2022 World Food Prize winner, Dr. Cynthia Rosenzweig. Dr. Rosenzweig's trailblazing research modeled the impact of climate change on food production worldwide. She's being recognized for leading a collaborative scientific effort that's produced the methodology and the data to mitigate the impact of climate change on our food systems. Like many of you, Dr. Rosenzweig began her career not knowing exactly how she wanted to make a difference. But she followed her interests, developed her passions, and grew her skills to benefit her community and to benefit the world. Climate change and the state of food insecurity around the world demands our urgent attention and action. And that's why I'm thrilled for the opportunity to have this week together. For our team, the opportunity is to support you as you present your research, explore new ideas, and ultimately take what you have learned into the world after our time together. For each of you, there's a chance to make connections with other students from places you've never been, with perspectives you've never heard, to connect with leading experts in food security, key decision makers who are here because they care about your ideas, and to connect with many different ways you can make a difference in this fight to end global hunger and improve food security around the world. Our global community depends on your energy, your action, and new ideas to make progress on these huge challenges we face. And it will take all of us working together to make a difference. This is why, as the Global Youth Institute takes place this week, the World Food Prize Foundation also hosts the International Borlaug Dialogue, where we bring together the foremost doers and thinkers from all stakeholder groups to discuss the issues and take action on global food security. Each of you has access to this premier international conference because we know it's going to take all the ideas, especially those of our young leaders like you, to solve these pressing challenges. It is absolutely critical that young leaders have a seat at the decision-making table when discussing food waste, nutrition inequities, and climate change. You are the future innovators and entrepreneurs, the scientists and the problem solvers who will lead us into the future and help us reimagine and redesign our food systems, our health systems, and our energy, economic, political, and social systems. The research, recommendations, and ideas you share today will help shape the global agenda on food security. You're not just the leaders of tomorrow, you're the leaders of today. Our founder and Nobel Peace Prize winner, Dr. Norman E. Borlaug, knew early on in his career that young people were the key to achieving food security for all. He launched the World Food Prize youth programs over 30 years ago to elevate your ideas and inspire further action. We remain so committed to his vision of empowering youth. So even when things are hard and you're not sure of the right path ahead of you, be persistent and know that we are here to support you all along the way. I know our whole team has been so inspired by your work so far and your commitment to ending hunger. Thank you so much for being here today, and thank you for being part of the solution.
Welcome to the 2022 Global Youth Institute. My name is Morgan Day, and I'm the Director of Global Youth Programs and Partnerships.
And my name is John Wogman. I work with the youth team here at the World Food Prize Foundation, and welcome to the World Food Prize Foundation's Hall of Laureates.
Woohoo! John, I'm so excited for this year's event, but I want to hear what you're the most excited about for this week.
Morgan. Okay, so here's what I'm excited about. First, the opportunity for students to learn from experts, really cool speakers. Second, the ability to dive deep into the intersection of climate change and food insecurity. We know that we're all going to learn a ton this week, and we really need to because of the urgency of addressing these issues. And three, we think you're going to have a lot of fun. I think you're going to have a lot of fun. What about you, Morgan?
I'm always a little biased because I get the chance to meet all of you at your youth institutes over the course of the spring and the summer. I've read a lot of your papers, which I know so many of you have worked so hard to rewrite and to improve. I just can't wait for us to all be together again and to really celebrate the hard work you've done to get to this point, and for us to be able to support you in this next journey toward becoming a hunger fighter.
It's going to be great. You're going to meet some of our amazing colleagues, and we can't wait to jump into this year's GYI with you.
Yeah, let's kick it over to them. Woo!
Hi, my name is Austin Castillo-Leovon, and I am the program coordinator here at the World Food Prize Foundation, working with the Global Youth Institutes and Partnerships. I am excited to share with you all some sustainable cooking recipes, and at the same time, I will be introducing you to some special renowned chefs that will be sharing some cooking tips that you can do at home. Thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. It's really inspiring to see y'all work so hard in your commitment to ending hunger.
Hi there, my name is Abby Turner. I am a Global Youth Programs and Partnerships Coordinator here at the World Food Prize. Zelda and I hope you have a positive experience at the Global Youth Institute. Throughout the week, we'll be bringing you ag innovations, and solving those issues like climate change are going to be a lot like herding cats. I am passionate about our youth programming here at the World Food Prize, and we know that it's going to be your generation taking the lead when it comes to issues like climate change.
Hi everyone, my name is Emma Casavecchia. I'm a program manager for Global Youth Programs and Partnerships here at the World Food Prize Foundation. I'm going to be one of your co-hosts for the week. I'm so excited to engage with all of you where you learn about key concepts related to global food security.
Hi, and welcome to the World Food Prize Hall of Laureates here in Des Moines, Iowa. My name is Kate Lavasser, and I'm the Foundation's archivist and historian. Every day I come to work to tell wonderful stories from the Foundation's history. Hopefully one day you'll be able to come visit us in person at the Hall of Laureates, because now your story is part of our story, and we couldn't be more excited to have you as part of the World Food Prize Foundation family.
Now that you have met me and the team, we wanted to introduce you to the 2022 World Food Prize laureate, Dr. Cynthia Rosenzweig. Dr. Rosenzweig is being honored for her work to better understand and predict the impact that climate change is having on food systems. Her research and modeling system has been used by over 90 countries to mitigate and adapt to climate change. You will have the opportunity to meet with Dr. Rosenzweig on Friday, where you will be able to ask her questions about climate change and food systems. Here's a short video of Dr. Rosenzweig talking about her work.
Our journey to help farmers outgrow climate change begins in an unlikely space. I know Bill is a fan of the science fiction author Andy Weir. His best-selling book, The Martian, was adapted into a blockbuster movie starring Matt Damon as a NASA astronaut stranded on Mars. But he's also a botanist and is able to grow potatoes on the red planet to survive. Well, today, life is imitating art, sort of, because our next speaker is also a NASA scientist working to grow food in the most inhospitable of places. But not on Mars, she's focused on Earth. She's a senior research scientist at NASA Goddard Institute and is the winner of this year's World Food Prize, which is widely regarded as the Nobel Prize for Agriculture. Please welcome Dr. Cynthia Rosenzweig.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. When I agreed to participate today, I laughed because I found out the organizers were calling me the space farmer. I'm not sure I would describe myself quite that way, but I understood why they did. Before, I was a senior research scientist at NASA, and long before the World Food Prize changed my life, my husband and I lived on a farm in Italy, raising chickens, goats, pigs, and harvesting olives and grapes. But since then, I've learned that farms like ours aren't just plots of land. Our conception of the farm also has to extend upward to satellites orbiting thousands of kilometers in the exosphere. It has to extend outward to the biolabs, scientists, policymakers, and more, and to all of you. Here's why. For most of history, agriculture has been a long, slow process of evolution. Farmers worked independently, tweaking and perfecting their practices over centuries. But that process of slow adaptation won't work anymore. The climate is changing faster than at any point in the last 10,000 years, any point since the farmer planted the first seed. Here's the recent temperature rise on land that the farmers are experiencing. That's where my colleagues and I come in. They have just a few years to make, the farmers have just a few years now to make progress, rather than a whole generation. In 2010, I co-founded an organization called AgMIP. It stands for Agricultural Model Intercomparison and Improvement Project. It is the emphasis on improvement. It's a global network of more than 1,000 researchers who build and use crop models, climate models, economic models, and more. But we go a step further. We collaborate because we're energized by a simple question. What's better than one model? The answer is dozens of them. Working together, eliminating the biases inherent to any single model. We lean on our community of scientists to share information, and we tap into artificial intelligence to help synthesize all sorts of data, remote sensing, crop modeling, climate data. And what, for example, we learn is that artificial intelligence has helped surface the importance of extreme temperatures on maize. It points us modelers where we need to improve the models. This approach means better, more responsive science, which leads to better, more responsive farms. We use the improved models to project the impacts of climate change. What you see here is a synthesis of 12 crop models, even dozen, from 2022 to the end of the century. And what it shows is the extreme vulnerability of crop yields in the lower latitudes to climate change, where most low-income countries are located. Now let's look at this animation of the Enhanced Vegetation Index for Ghana, which tracks more than 20 years of the growing seasons. What we see is that crop and climate and vegetation data is not a simple, tidy story. Each year is different in the animation. Each region is different. But even so, this index tells us roughly what we can expect over year to year and year over year. And with it, AgMIP can then help policymakers pinpoint exactly where, when, and how they can help farmers. Finally, let's go to Asia. Here, our goal isn't just to help rice farmers adapt to climate change. We're hoping to help mitigate climate change itself. You may be surprised to learn that after emissions from livestock, growing rice puts more methane into the atmosphere than any other agriculture activity. But there's reason for optimism. Typically, rice is grown by flooding fields and keeping them flooded. But in Vietnam and India, AgMIP models suggest that by alternating the wetting and drying of the rice fields, farmers can reduce the methane emitted, and in some places even boost their yields. So far, early results show an increase in yield, about 27%, and a roughly 38% decrease in methane emissions. It's extremely promising. But there's one last point I want to reiterate. These advances are only possible with collaboration. Collaboration between scientists, policymakers, and farming groups. It's the only way to get the information in all of our many AgMint models to farmers all around the world, the people who really need them. In the end, collaboration is how we sow the seeds of progress. Thanks.
We are now going to hear from Randall King, who was a counselor at the Alabama Youth Institute. Randall is passionate about farming and has great suggestions for getting involved in agriculture. He's also going to teach us how to do an owl call. Woo, woo, woo!
My name is Randall King. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I was a counselor for the Alabama Youth Institute at Tuskegee University. So when we're focusing on farming and agriculture and improving food securities, one of the biggest concerns is how do you get started, right? So you can start as small as urban farming, and you can kind of work your way up, go in the farmer's market, get a little bit of knowledge. So farming can be on two different scales. It can be very detailed or it can be very broad. I prefer the very detailed version of farming because it allows us to really get in depth and kind of identify those different ways to better help food securities in the community and then globally. So that's one of the biggest things, getting started. So reach out to your local extension agent and just kind of get involved. So farming isn't hard, it's actually really fun, funner than you actually might think. So you can start with chickens, you can start with goats, you can do produce with corn, the easy things to kind of get started and get a hand into it. So definitely reach out to different universities, teachers, and that sort of thing to kind of really get involved. And one of the things I want to show you all too that I did as a counselor, it was an owl call, and I think that's pretty neat, so you all can kind of practice this. Put your hand just like this, your left hand, bring your fingers in, use these fingers here, couple together, close that, bring your palms together, make your mouthpiece, and that's pretty neat too. And you can actually do this out in the field. You can see the different birds coming around or leaving, and if you're in a good area, if you make that owl call, the owls will respond back to you. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you all. I hope you have a wonderful Global Youth Institute.
Finally, we have a special guest to help kick off the Global Youth Institute. You might have seen her and her emu on TikTok. Here's Taylor Blake from Knuckle Bump Farms.
Hi everyone, it's Taylor Blake from Knuckle Bump Farms, here to remind you that farmers and farming are such an essential part of not only our society, but of our economy as well. And of course, farming is hard, but it can also be pretty fun. Right, Emmanuel? Huh? He wouldn't know. He's not a farmer. He just lives here rent-free. You may not always understand farmers or why they do what they do, but they are such an essential part of society. Kind of like Rico here. We don't really understand why he's such a jerk, but he's still an essential part of our farm. And farmers do so much more than just grow food. We are stewards to the land. We conserve the soil. We conserve our natural waterways. And all in all, we're caretakers of Mother Nature, which, how beautiful is that? If there's one thing I can encourage you to do, it's learn where your food comes from, learn how to grow your food, learn how to sustain yourself off the land and the beautiful, beautiful planet that we have right in front of us. Learn how to take care of animals, learn how to build relationships with animals, and take the time to become one with this beautiful earth that we are blessed with. The world needs more young farmers, and we're counting on you guys, right, Princess? Princess is like, I'm counting on some treats. All jokes aside, the future is farming. The future is you. You hold the key, and I have no doubt that each and every one of you are gonna grow up to be absolutely incredible humans that are gonna change the world. So, thanks for watching. Go farmers!
We hope you are excited for GYI. We know you are going to learn a ton, and we can't wait for you to present your research, learn from experts, and connect with students from around the world. Please make sure to watch the GYI overview video. This video will walk you through the GYI conference platform, expectations for the week, and provide recommendations for Borlaug Dialogue sessions you can attend. Good luck on your roundtable presentations, and we will see you on Monday.